This video is going to show you how to create an assembly file and to assemble the parts of the train engine. And then we'll deal with the train car later. We need to go to New or the big I and go New, whichever way you want to do that. And we need to go down here to Assembly and create a standard, I'm sorry, let me go to English because this is what we did it in. Standard inch assembly file. An assembly file allows you to bring in multiple drawings into this file. So we've drawn all these different parts. Now we need to bring them in into one file and assemble them all. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go here to Place, and we need to find our files. So here's my train files here. I'm going to start with the engine, and so I'm going to click on train engine here that I saved it as, and here's just the body of that. So I'm going to hit open. And a couple things you'll notice, it looks huge when I first select it, so I'm going to just click once and set it down. Now I can do multiple train engines if I want, but I don't need to do this. I'm going to hit escape, and I can just delete these extra ones that I don't need here. So you can see it's a little more proportional now for us. So I also need to go Place, and I need to find my boiler. I'll need that, and also need the little blue square block there, and let's see what else. And I guess I'll have to draw the other ones here in a little bit, but just bring in whatever blocks you need for the train engine. And let me get the wheels while I'm thinking about it. Wheels and axles. So here's that. I also need two of those. So here's where instance where I'm going to click twice to get those. I'll hit escape. So I've got two wheels. I got some of the blocks, some of the parts that I need. And so let's go ahead and start doing this. First thing I want to do is I want to right click on this, and I want to on the train body here and go grounded. And so this isn't going to move. Everything else is going to move to it. If we didn't ground that, sometimes this would turn to meet up with another part, and it can kind of throw some things off. So we're going to ground this first part here, and so it's not going to move for us. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to click on Free Rotate. I'm going to rotate this train boiler around to where it's kind of facing the same direction now. It's kind of pointing in the same direction as the front of my train here. So I'm going to click on Constrain, and there's a couple options here that we have. We have Mate, Angle, Tangent, Insert, and Symmetry. Most of what we'll do is just with the Mate, and there's two options here for us. There's Mate and there's Flush. We'll probably play around with those two. So just leave it on Mate, and then we'll deal with these as we go. So first thing I want to do is I want to get this surface of the train body. I'm going to rotate around, and I want that surface to mate, to touch the underside of this train boiler. I'll pivot back around. You can see now they are touching. They're not lined up, but they are touching now. So I'm going to hit Apply. Now I want this side to be in line with this side of the train. So I want this side of the boiler to be in line with this side of the train. You can see it kind of flip things around. So here I'm going to play around with the flush. That kind of turned it. I also want to offset this by just a little bit. Let me measure and see how much I need to offset that. We might try offsetting it by point. Offset just a little bit, maybe 0.25. I don't know. We'll have to measure that and kind of see, but you can kind of see the mate and flush options here to get us lined up where we need to go. Offset it just a little bit. We'll hit apply. Same thing with the front here, the front of the train. So I'm going to click on the front of the boiler, and I'm going to click on the front of this train here, and you can see we are hanging over where we should be. So again, I'm going to offset that. Go maybe come back just a little bit or something. I don't know. Again, I need to measure that and see exactly where that goes, but that's how you would to do that. We'll hit apply. Now I can hit cancel that for right now, and you can kind of see I've got my boiler pretty much in place, and so I'm good to go there. Let's get these two wheels where they need to go. So again, we're going to hit constrain, and we're going to click on if we zoom into this hole right here that we made, you can see this white dotted line. That's kind of like our center line or the center axis of this. So I'm going to click to where I can see that, and it's going to highlight blue. And then I'm going to click on this axle of the wheel, and you can see another dotted line pop up with it. So that's going to basically line up these two dotted lines, these two center lines for us. So there's that. Let's rotate around just a little bit, and we'll hit apply. But as you can see, the wheel is basically in the middle of our body. So we need to again mate this side of the train and the inside of the wheel. Now if I look at this, I'm off a little bit again, so I'm going to offset that by maybe a 1/16 or so. Just give it a little bit, because actually those wheels wobble a little bit in there. We could leave it mated up, but I'm going to offset it just a little bit. Okay, so there's that. Rotate around again. Now let's go this train axle and that hole. We'll apply that, and again that face. It'll rotate, and there we go. And that face, and we'll offset it by just a little bit. We rotate it back here. We can see now we're cooking along here. And again, you might get zooming in and out again. Don't forget the double click with your middle mouse wheel, kind of recenter things for you. Okay, now we've got this little block here, and of course got some other blocks to add on. But again, I want the train body, the top of that, and I want it'll rotate around right there. The underside of that. And we'll apply that. And again, we want this hole and this axle to line up. There we go. And we'll apply that. And that should be good for that block. And so just stack on your other blocks as you go. And if you have any questions, by all means ask, and we'll get that taken care of.